A tip for you guys today to help with your shoulder development is making sure that you have purpose to your shoulder presses and you're making sure you're using your shoulders and not just pressing with your triceps or squeezing up to your traps. So what I'm having Gigi do here is making sure that her hand placement is wide enough that at the top her hands are outside of her shoulders. So it's going to put a lot more tension on her delts throughout that range of motion, and it's going to give it a good stretch at the bottom, a good squeeze at the top, and it's going to keep emphasis on those shoulder muscles that we're trying to build up. We're also using that band that you see hanging on the Smith machine there is to help at the bottom of the movement, turning the weight from the negative to the positive, which is the hardest part in this range of motion to lift the weight. So while she's lifting the weight, the band's helping at the hardest, and it's doing very, very minimal to nothing at the top where it's the easiest. So it's allowing her to get a little bit more weight on the bar than she normally could in that range of motion. So she's really getting the most out of the movement. Next, we have her doing some dumbbell overhead presses, and we're really trying to mimic that same range of motion, just coming together a little bit more at the top. I'm trying to make sure that her elbows aren't bending more than 90 degrees because it's going to put a lot of tension on the triceps. Keep in mind that we're lifting here to stimulate the shoulder muscles, and we're not lifting for strength purposes as much as muscle building or hypertrophy purposes. The goal of the day was to build muscle, so we set the workout up in a way to make sure that that's what we're trying to do, rather than just focusing on how much weight's in her hand or how much total weight was lifted upon the day. After we worked the muscles through the more mid and the short range, we had her do some laying down on the incline dumbbell front raises. Look at Kyle hanging around like a monkey per usual. We had her do this because it's getting a little bit more of a stretch at the bottom that the first two movements would not. So we prioritize the workout in a way to make sure that we're getting every movement in for its certain purpose and not just doing it because it's a shoulder movement. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to our channel for future content. If you have any questions about what we're doing at Ferraro's Gym or why, just leave a comment and we'll do our best to get back to you.